Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Provide evidence for. Cause to puff up with 11. Increase in volume. Be shown or be found to be. She proved to be right. Put to the test, as for its quality, or give experimental use to. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. Obtain probate of. Prove a will. Prove formally. Demonstrate by a mathematical, formal proof. Take a trial impression of. Provide evidence for. Give testimony in a court of law. Provide evidence for. Provide evidence for. Stand as proof of. Show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. Give evidence. Your basis for belief or disbelief. Knowledge on which to base belief. The evidence that smoking causes lung cancer is very compelling. An indication that makes something evident. His trembling was evidence of his fear. Law. All the means by which any alleged matter of fact whose truth is investigated at judicial trial is established or disproved. Provide evidence for. The blood test showed that he was the father. Pretending that something is the case in order to make a good impression. That ceremony is just for show. Take someone to their seats, as in theaters or auditoriums. The usher showed us to our seats. Indicate a certain reading of gauges and instruments. The thermometer showed 13 degrees below zero. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. I showed the customer the glove section. Show in, or as in, a picture. Be or become visible or noticeable. His good upbringing really shows. Something intended to communicate a particular impression. A show of impatience. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. She shows her dogs frequently. Give expression to. She showed her disappointment. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. The mathematician showed the validity of the conjecture. A social event involving a public performance or entertainment. They wanted to see some of the shows on Broadway. Finish third or better in a horse or dog race. He bet $2 on number 6 to show. Give evidence of, as of records. The diary shows his distress that evening. Make visible or noticeable. She showed her talent for cooking. The act of publicly exhibiting or entertaining. A remarkable show of skill. Provide evidence for. Give testimony in a court of law. Cause to puff up with 11. Unleavened bread. An influence that works subtly to lighten or modify something. His sermons benefited from a leavening of humor. A substance used to produce fermentation in dough or a liquid. Call forth emotions, feelings, and responses. Raise a smile. Summon into action or bring into existence, often as if by magic. Raise the specter of unemployment. Cause to become alive again. Raise from the dead. The act of raising something. Firemen learn several different raises for getting ladders up. Cause to puff up with a leaven. Invigorate or heighten. Cause to assemble or enlist in the military. Raise an army. The amount of salary is increased. He got a 3% raise. Give a promotion to or assign to a higher position. An upward slope or grade, as in a road. Put an end to. Raise a siege. Put forward for consideration or discussion. Raise the question of promotions. Raise from a lower to a higher position. Move upwards. Increase. Cultivate by growing, often involving improvements by means of agricultural techniques. We raise hogs here. Construct, build, or erect. Raise in rank or condition. Look after a child until it is an adult. Raise a family. Activate or stir up. Raise a mutiny. Bet more than the previous player. Bid, one's partner's suit, at a higher level. Bring, a surface or a design, into relief and cause to project. Raised edges. Cause to be heard or known, express or utter. Raise a shout. Collect funds for a specific purpose. The president raised several $1,000,000 for his college. Create a disturbance, especially by making a great noise. Raise hell. Establish radio communications with. They managed to raise Hanoi last night. Increasing the size of a bet, as in poker. I'll see your raise and double it. Multiply, a number, by itself a specified number of times. 8 is 2 raised to the power 3. Pronounce, vowels, by bringing the tongue closer to the roof of the mouth. Raise your O. Raise the level or amount of something. Raise my salary. Get up and out of bed. An increase in cost. They asked for a 10% rise in rates. Return from the dead. Christ is risen. Theology, the origination of the Holy Spirit at Pentecost. A movement upward. They cheered the rise of the hot air balloon. Rise up. Increase in volume. Come up, of celestial bodies. The sun also rises. The amount of salary is increased. The act of changing location in an upward direction. Go up or advance. A wave that lifts the surface of the water or ground. Move to a better position in life or to a better job. Rise in rank or status. Come into existence. Take on form or shape. Increase in value or to a higher point. An upward slope or grade, as in a road. The car couldn't make it up the rise. Take part in a rebellion. Renounce a former allegiance. The property possessed by a slope or surface that rises. Increase in price or value. Become more extreme. Come to the surface. Move upward. Rise to one's feet. A growth in strength or number or importance. Exert oneself to meet a challenge. Rise to a challenge. Get up and out of bed. Bring forth. Put out or expel from a place. Be shown or be found to be. Turn outward. Result or end. How will the game turn out? Cause to stop operating by disengaging a switch. Turn out the lights. Come and gather for a public event. Come, usually in answer to an invitation or summons. Outfit or equip, as with accessories. Produce quickly or regularly, usually with machinery. Prove to be in the result or end. Find by digging in the ground. Discover the location of. Determine the place of. Find by searching or examining. Be shown or be found to be. Bend or lay so that one part covers the other. Turn up your collar. Appear or become visible. Make a showing. Make an effort or attempt. The infant had essayed a few wobbly steps. Put to the test, as for its quality, or give experimental use to. An analytic or interpretive literary composition. A tentative attempt. Put to the test, as for its quality, or give experimental use to. Observe, check out, and look over carefully or inspect. The customs agent examined the baggage. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. Question or examine thoroughly and closely. Question closely. Trying something to find out about it. Any standardized procedure for measuring sensitivity or memory or intelligence or aptitude or personality, etc. The test was standardized on a large sample of students. A set of questions or exercises evaluating skill or knowledge. When the test was stolen, the professor had to make a new set of questions. Test or examine for the presence of disease or infection. Examine someone's knowledge of something. The teacher tests us every week. Put to the test, as for its quality, or give experimental use to. The act of testing something. The act of undergoing testing. He survived the great test of battle. Achieve a certain score or rating on a test. She tested high on the LSAT and was admitted to all the good law schools. A hard outer covering as of some amoebas and sea urchins. Determine the presence or properties of a substance. Show a certain characteristic when tested. He tested positive for HIV. Undergo a test. She doesn't test well. Melt, fat or lard, in order to separate out impurities. Try the yak butter. Test the limits of. You are trying my patience. Make an effort or attempt. Take a sample of. Put to the test, as for its quality, or give experimental use to. Put on a garment in order to see whether it fits and looks nice. Put on trial or hear a case and sit as the judge at the trial of. earnest and conscientious activity intended to do or accomplish something. She gave it a good try. Examine or hear evidence or a case by judicial process. Give pain or trouble to. Take a sample of. Try something new, as in order to gain experience. Put to the test, as for its quality, or give experimental use to. Perform in order to get a role. Provide evidence for. Stand as proof of. Show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. This decision demonstrates his sense of fairness. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. The experiment demonstrated the instability of the compound. March in protest. Take part in a demonstration. Thousands demonstrated against globalization during the meeting of the most powerful economic nations in Seattle. Institute, enact, or establish. Build or establish something abstract. Bring about. The trompe-l'oeil illusion establishes depth. Place. Use as a basis for, found on. Set up or lay the groundwork for. Establish a new department. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. Set up or found. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. Act as an informer. She had informed on her own parents for years. Give character or essence to. The principles that inform modern teaching. Impart knowledge of some fact, state of affairs, or event to. I informed him of his rights. Lifting device consisting of a platform or cage that is raised and lowered mechanically in a vertical shaft in order to move people from one floor to another in a building. Raise or haul up with or as if with mechanical help. The act of raising something. He responded with a lift of his eyebrow. Fly people or goods to or from places not accessible by other means. Food is airlifted into Bosnia. Invigorate or heighten. Lift my spirits. Make off with belongings of others. Transportation of people or goods by air, especially when other means of access are unavailable. Rise up. Cancel officially. Lift an embargo. Perform cosmetic surgery on someone's face. Take illegally. A wave that lifts the surface of the water or ground. Put an end to. Lift a ban. Plastic surgery to remove wrinkles and other signs of aging from your face. An incision is made near the hairline and skin is pulled back and excess tissue is excised. Some actresses have more than one facelift. The event of something being raised upward. Raise from a lower to a higher position. Move upwards. Lift one's eyes. Take without referencing from someone else's writing or speech, of intellectual property. The component of the aerodynamic forces acting on an airfoil that opposes gravity. Move upward. The fog lifted. Raise in rank or condition. The new law lifted many people from poverty. A powered conveyance that carries skiers up a hill. A device worn in a shoe or boot to make the wearer look taller or to correct a shortened leg. A ride in a car. He gave me a lift home. Call to stop the hunt or to retire, as of hunting dogs. Make audible. He lifted a war whoop. One of the layers forming the heel of a shoe or boot. Pay off a mortgage. Remove from a seedbed or from a nursery. Lift the tulip bulbs. Remove from a surface. The detective carefully lifted some fingerprints from the table. Remove hair by scalping. Rise upward, as from pressure or moisture. The floor is lifting slowly. Take hold of something and move it to a different location. Lift the box onto the table. Take off or away by decreasing. Lift the pressure. Take root crops out of the ground. Lift potatoes. The act of giving temporary assistance. Get up and out of bed. I get up at 7 a.m. every day. Raise from a lower to a higher position. Put on special clothes to appear particularly appealing and attractive. Study intensively, as before an exam. Develop. Rise to one's feet. Arrange by systematic planning and united effort. Cause to rise. Summon into action or bring into existence, often as if by magic. Put forward for consideration or discussion. Bring up an unpleasant topic. Raise from a lower to a higher position. Cause to load an operating system, and start the initial processes. Make reference to. Look after a child until it is an adult. Bring up children. Cause to come to a sudden stop. Promote from a lower position or rank. Give a promotion to or assign to a higher position. Raise from a lower to a higher position. Raise in rank or condition. Pass into a condition gradually, take on a specific property or attribute, become. Develop and reach maturity. Undergo maturation. Come to have or undergo a change of physical features and attributes. Come into existence. Take on form or shape. Cultivate by growing, often involving improvements by means of agricultural techniques. We grow wheat here. Grow emotionally or mature. Become attached by or as if by the process of growth. The tree trunks had grown together. Become larger, greater, or bigger. Expand or gain. Cause to grow or develop. He grows vegetables in his backyard. Increase in size by natural process. Corn doesn't grow here. Be priced at. Represent, as of a character on stage. Form or compose. These constitute my entire belonging. Be identical or equivalent to. Have life, be alive. A light, strong, brittle gray toxic bivalent metallic element. Have an existence, be extant. Work in a specific place, with a specific subject, or in a specific function. Have the quality of being. Copula, used with an adjective or a predicate noun. Occupy a certain position or area, be somewhere. What is behind this behavior? Spend or use time. I may be an hour. To remain unmolested, undisturbed, or uninterrupted, used only in infinitive form. Let her be. Form a critical opinion of. How do you evaluate this grant proposal? Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. Form a critical opinion of. We shouldn't pass judgment on other people. Judge tentatively or form an estimate of quantities or time. Pronounce judgment on. Form a critical opinion of. I cannot judge some works of modern art. An authority who is able to estimate worth or quality. Put on trial or hear a case and sit as the judge at the trial of. The judge tried both father and son in separate trials. A public official authorized to decide questions brought before a court of justice. Determine the result of a competition. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. Say yes to. Strengthen or make more firm. The witnesses confirmed the victim's account. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. His story confirmed my doubts. Administer the rite of confirmation to. The children were confirmed in their mother's faith. Make more firm. Support a person for a position. The Senate confirmed the President's candidate for Secretary of Defense. Give evidence for. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. Support with evidence or authority or make more certain or confirm.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.